Welcome to Crochet 101. For more information about this series and all other videos in this series, you can check out the Crochet 101 playlist on my profile. Today, we are going to cover the slip stitch. The slip stitch is a really important stitch to learn, but you're not going to use it the way that you use traditional stitches to like full on create projects. That would take an insane amount of time to create a full slip stitch project. Instead, you're going to use it for places like joining up two ends in a round, moving across rows without creating heights. If you wanted to move over to this stitch, but you didn't want to cut your yarn and move over here, you could slip stitch across. You can also use it to like join in your magic circles together, which I will be showing you very soon in our little coaster pattern that we're working our way towards. And then also you can use slip stitches to kind of create patterns on the surfaces of your crochet. So let's get into what a slip stitch is. And because it's not a traditional stitch, we're not going to start this tutorial from creating a chain and working up there. It'll be much easier for me to show you this on an existing kind of swatch that I have. So I have a swatch here. These are half double crochets in case you were curious. And for the slip stitch, super easy one, you are literally just going to take your hook, and in the same way that you would create a regular half double, single, whatever stitch, you're going to put your hook in here and pull up a loop, and then pull that same loop through your existing loop on your hook. So once again, you stick your hook through, you grab your loop, and you pull it through once, and you pull it through again. And like I said, you can use this to kind of travel across crochet projects. So you can see instead of being over here, now I'm over here, but I really haven't made much of a height difference on my project here. Often find this kind of traveling by slip stitch in some of your granny square patterns you're going to see. And then also I use it like when I'm making a small doll sweater, rather than undoing my yarn for the, like if I was working on the back panel and this, I needed to make an armhole, rather than undoing my yarn and then going in to like start on the upper part of the back, I'll just slip stitch over, and then there I have the start of my armhole. I can show you that on this little doll's dress that I made. So here I reached the end of my row, knew I needed to go in so I could start to work up here, but I needed to go in far enough that I had room for an armhole. So I just slip stitched over, and then I continued to work up in my same stitch. So I'm just going to do a few more of them just so you can see my technique a little bit further. Again, we go under, we pull through a loop, and we pull it through the only loop on our hook. And I will try and point out slip stitches to you as we encounter them on some of the beginner patterns that we're going to be working on. And you can see once again, you could make a project out of slip stitches, but that's the rest of your year. That's the only project you're going to be working on. So that's all we're going to be covering for today. If you have any questions about the slip stitch, make sure you drop them below. And I will see you guys for our next lesson, which is going to be covering how I increase and decrease my stitches.